Hi guys, how are you doing today? And welcome back to my channel. It's your queen, Dolly, Lady D. And do not forget to subscribe down below, like and share. If ever you didn't do that, it won't even take you a minute. And today, as you guys know, that I did a surgery 4 weeks back because I had an ectopic pregnancy. So I feel like I need to share with you guys about the trauma that I actually went through right after I was discharged from the hospital, right? So I know I'm not the only woman who actually went through that, but I feel like let me share as the woman as a whole, as women as a whole in the community, we can actually talk about our experiences. First of all, if you did watch my video, I did mention that when I find out I was pregnant, I was happy because I've been trying to be pregnant for like 5 years and nothing was happening. So when the doctor finally told me that, ma'am, you are pregnant, I was so excited. I was over the moon. So then, minutes after that excitement, they were like, it could be an ectopic pregnancy, but let's take you back to the sauna and check everything. If everything is okay, is fine. No problem. Me and my man, we went to the sauna with the gynecologist. When he was checking there, he was like, wow, the pregnancy is outside. I was like, I've never heard of such pregnancy outside. How is that possible? I just looked at him like, I was like, so what do you mean, doctor? What's the meaning of this pregnancy being outside the uterus? And he showed us that, okay, look, there's a fluid here outside the uterus. So, which means it's an ectopic pregnancy. So I also wanted to know what ectopic pregnancy is. He actually explained. Now, I want to go through about my experience because that moment, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really feel anything. I felt like since the pregnancy is there but it's outside the uterus, probably they can push it back to the uterus, then everything is fine. But then I didn't ask that one. So we were like, okay, so what's the next step? I'm sorry, doctor, obviously. So what's the next step? He was like, I'm gonna admit you immediately. Still in my mind, I never thought, okay, when they admit me, maybe something is gonna be bad. I'm gonna end up being in the theater. Like, it never actually crossed my mind, right? Okay, they admitted me the very same day. It doesn't matter. So we had to go through sauna couple of times just to make sure, because they were like now trying to explain everything to me that if this thing is more than 3 centimeters, we're gonna have to open you and clean you and cut the tube, so you're gonna be left with 1 tube. Can you imagine the things that we go through as women? That's when I realized that, you know what, life will humble you because you don't know what might happen tomorrow. So as you wake up today, just say, I'm grateful, I'm alive. Do you understand? Because I was also asking myself a lot of questions. Why me? Why do I have to go through this? Like, not knowing that I'm not the only one. Like, because as they admitted me, the ward was full of patients who were actually going through the same thing that I'm actually going through. So I actually was like, oh, okay, that's not only me. But then, yes, why me at this point, like now? Fine. So as he told me that we still want to go through a lot of saunas just to make sure. So what really broke my heart was when I was there, he was like, yeah, this is very serious, this is huge, your tube is even ruptured actually. And then he turned the screen, the sauna screen, and he was like, look, this is your baby. It was so painful. It was so painful. I wanted to cry, but then I was like, no, girl, be strong. Don't, not now. I didn't cry, and then I went to the surgery. I came back. So that time of me being in the hospital, I was like, I really thought I was strong. I was fine. I really thought I could handle this. When I got to my house after they discharged me, now listen, I couldn't sleep. Every night I could not sleep. I kept seeing that sonar screen when he said, look at your baby. I kept imagining the way the baby was sitting. I kept asking myself, why do I have to go through this? Maybe if the doctor didn't show me the baby and just say, okay, we're taking you to the theater, we're going to operate you, and then we're done, maybe I feel like I was going to be fine. Because now, every time when I go to bed, I don't sleep, not even before 12 o'clock, because I think a lot is going through my mind. I cry a lot. I always cry. And to a point where I was like, you know what, I'm tired of crying all by myself, because I didn't want my fiance to see that, oh, okay, every night I go through this. But then I was like, yo, enough is enough. I need to share this pain, this thing I'm going through, because him as a man, he might not understand this thing. So there was this one time, he was already sleeping. Then I woke him up. I was like, okay, you are snoring, but can you pray for us first? He was like, okay. And then he prayed. After that, he went back to sleep. And then he cried again. So painfully. I was like, I really need to share this. But I don't believe in going to psychologists, like, you know, those things. I'm sorry, but I don't, because I feel like I'm not gonna feel better. What I'm going through, yes, I'm gonna share it with a stranger. She's gonna, let's just say this person didn't even go through ectopic pregnancy. What advice is she gonna give me? Is she gonna tell me that talk about things, cry if you want to cry? Really now, I feel like, okay, that's not for me. That industry is just not for me. But the following day, I was like, okay, now I think it's time for me to talk to this man, to let him know what I'm going through, because what I'm going through is such a trauma. He might not understand as a man. He might feel like, you just like to take things seriously, and he like to say I stress too much. I know I do, but I feel like as a woman, it just happens. We are like that. So I said to him, I think we need to talk. I was like, okay, babe, about what? Then I broke everything into details, what I'm going through. And there are few friends of mine that are very close. Because I think one of them, we met in the hospital, so she was going through what I was going through. So speaking to her, she told me that, girl, last night, as in like the whole of yesterday, I was not good. I was like, what was the problem? She said, I've been crying, thinking about everything, like surgery, losing the baby. So I started feeling better. I was like, oh, it's not me. It's not like I'm differing or whatsoever. It's not just me. It's a woman thing. So maybe our hormones are all over the place. We were like, because there was a point where I felt like, you know what? If I was going through this surgery pain while the baby was there crying, then I was gonna feel better. You know, when you know that, okay, I'm in pain, but I can see the reason why I'm in pain. It's there. Like, you look at the baby and be smiling like, yeah, I can deal with the pain because I see you. Now you are dealing with the pain, yet there's nothing to be like. Do you understand? So I felt like we go through a lot, and then I don't know, psychologists and all that. Please guys, just comment down below and tell me if maybe I still need help of psychologists. But for me, it's not gonna work, right? Because honestly, if I can be honest with you guys, after I actually decided to speak to my man, that very same day I felt better, because I had to let everything out. I spoke about everything, all the feelings, and I cried. And then up until today, I was like, oh, okay, maybe I was bottling it up. So I wasn't supposed to be doing that. Do you understand? So I am so happy. So if ever there are women out there who went through what I went through, you are not alone. We are here for you. We experienced the same thing, hopefully. And there was a point in time where I was like, oh, okay, I already have an operation, right? So now for me to fall pregnant, I think it's going to be a struggle, because obviously when I go for a labor, it's time to deliver the baby, they're going to have to cut again in that very same spot. I even felt like, is pregnancy my thing? Do I really belong in this whole pregnancy thing? Because I was so skeptical about having a baby now, in as much as I wanted this baby so bad. But now I'm thinking, you see the pain I'm going through right now, so they're gonna still cut there, and I'm gonna have to go through these pains again. And there's a lot that's going through my mind to be like, okay, if this happened, what if I fall pregnant again and then same thing happens? What's gonna happen? Imagine my situation. I would say it's even worse, because they had to cut off the tube, so I'm only left with one tube. So now you can understand why I'm very skeptical. That what if it happens again, and then obviously I'm gonna be pregnant with that one other tube, that the one that is left. So they're gonna have to cut another tube again, and then that's bad. That's so bad. But I actually said to myself, okay, cool. This baby, I really need it. I will get pregnant. But before, I'm gonna be very careful. I will do things I've never done. I will go for checkups. I will do everything. I will check my ovaries. I will everything. If I have to clean myself for like, I will do that, so that my next pregnancy will be as healthy as, you know. So if you guys went through the same, don't hesitate, just comment down below and tell me what actually helped you to overcome all that trauma experience. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next time in my next video. Mwah.